So yesterday we have discussed is Kirebhya Pratiyachati Masan. So any exchange for one thing for the other, any exchange falls under this category. Okay. Uh, oh, sorry, it is gone. There is some problem. Yes. Oh, this view, if they put it in that kind of view, I have to look like this because all the I will I will get naked. There is one joke about this neck problem. Some people wear some sort of this thing if they have neck ache. So if you call them, they make an about turn because they cannot turn like this. Among the animals, if you have noticed carefully, it is only pig. Pig cannot look like this, like cow, dog, etc. If you say Uri, then the entire about turn it will take pig. So these people also, my Guruji was laughing like anything. What kind of Homanam is this? So, Tilebhyaha Pratiyachati Mashan Akartariyune Panchami Karturvajjitam Yadranam Hetubhutam Tataha Panchami Syat. Heto Anurti is there in this stotra. So, Karturvajjitam Yadranam. In Ranam, now two people will be there. Actually, three people will be there because Pani says Sakshat Drashtari Samjnayam Sakshi. Okay. So, but there is Uttamarnaha who is giving the loan. There will be Adhamarnaha who is receiving the loan. Okay, normal loan you are. And then the one who looks at this transaction, he is called Sakshi. That is what is meant by Panini. So here, Ranam Kartruvarjitam yat Ranam Hetubhutam. Okay, if it is Hetu, what happens? Hatha Panchami Hatha Tritiya has to come, isn't it? But Panchami will come. That is what he says. Katruvajjitam yadranam hetu bhotam tataha Panchami syat. Shatat baddhaha. Okay, he is actually tied up, arrested. Baddhaha, arrested by Uttamarna, this Adhamarna, who was 100 rupees or whatever it is to Uttamarna, is arrested. Baddha. Shatat. Here what happens? Actually, it is Hato Tritiya has to come. So Tritiyam Badhitva Atra Panchami Syat. Akartarikim Shitena Bandhitaha. Akartarik here Shitena Bandhitaha. Baddhaha is Taparchayamta. Bhutektaha. Isn't it? But Bandhitaha is Nichiparchayamta. And then the prayojako hetuscha, one sotam is there. There also it is karta. Okay. So prayojika is ranam, prayojya is uttamanna. Okay. So sitena hetuna in that sense, baddhaha. Therefore here he is not a karta. Therefore tritiya will come, not panchami. That is what is meant. Akartarikim sitena bandhitaha, not baddhaha. Vibhasha gune striyam. Gune hato anuvrutti is there. Gune hato astriyam means astrilinge panchami vibhasha vasyat. So jati guna kriya samjya vachikas. That's why in the beginning we discussed it. Panini says some shabdas which are other than jati, kriya and dravyama samjya are called guna. Okay, so Gune Astriyam. Gune Heto Astrilinge Panchami Vasyat. Vasyat means Heto Anurti is there. So Heto Tritiya. So Panchami or Tritiya can be used. Got it? Jadyat Jadjenava Baddhaha. Okay, he is not able to move. He is not moving. Why? Jadyat. Here, Jada is a kind of disease of animals frequently seen in animals during which they do not take either water or grass. Okay, Jadasya bhavaha jadyam. Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmani cha Sheni Pratyaya. So Jadya. So here this is the Gunavachaka. Therefore, Panchami Vikalpena Pakshe Hatau Tritiya. So Jadyat Jadyena Vabadha. Gune Kim Dhanena Kolam. Dhanam is Dravyam, not Guna. So Hatau Tritiya, but not Panchami and Tritiya. This Sotram does not apply. Astriyam Kim Buddhya Muktaha. Okay, Buddhya Muktaha, in Buddhi, he got Mukti. So Buddhi, Buddhir Manisha Dhishana, Dhihi Prajna, Shemushi Matihi. Okay, all these Shabdas Amarkosha. All these Shabdas mean Buddhi. So Buddhi is in Strilinga. Astriyam Nishedha is there in the Sotram. Therefore, here Vikalpena Panchamina Bhavati, Kintu Hetau iti Tritiya eva Bhavati. Is it clear? So Buddhya Muktaha Vibhasha iti Yoga Vibhagattu Agune Striyancha Kvachit. There are certain usages which are happening, and means where it happens. Panchami is seen when it is not a guna bhenna, okay, and also striyam, when there is the strilinga shabda. So vibhasha yoga vibhaga kartavyaha. Yoga vibhaga means sutra vibhaga. Then Dhoma Agniman. See, mostly in Nyaya Darshanam. Dhomat Agniman Parvataha. Here, Dhoma Hatau Panchami. They call it Hatau Panchami. How did you get Panchami there? Means here Vibhasha Gune Striyam iti Sutre, Vibhasha iti Yoga Vibhagat, Anyatrapi Arthat Agune Striyancha Drishyante Prayogaha. Is it clear? Dhomadaग्निमान नास्ति घटः अनुपलब्धेः. घटः अनुपलब्धेः हेतोः नास्ति. अनुपलब्धि is लभ धातोः tin प्रत्ययः श्रियां tin भावे. अनुपलब्धिः. Anupalabdhi, I might have given you in the beginning the pramanas of different systemists. A list I have provided. There you will find Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi is accepted by some systemists, okay, like Mimamsa, Vedanta, etc. But in Vyakaranam also it is there, under Sriyam also. Sankhya Dakshinam it is there. Sataha Vastunaha Anupalabdhi. The thing that is there, but we are not getting. Reasons are given, 6 or 8. So Atisokshmiyat, Atidurat, Atisokshmiyat, etc. Okay, so Anupalabdhi is accepted as a pramanam by those. But Nayayikas say Anupalabdhi Anumane Antarbhavaha. Okay, so it is not accepted Anupalabdhi as a separate pramanam by those people. So Nasti Ghataha Anupalabdhi. Here, due to Anupalabdhi, Ghata is not Nasti, na Jnayate. Nasti means na Jnayate. That means Ghata is already there. But since the Indriyas do not perceive it, do not catch it, it is not available. Not available means Ghata Jnanam na Jayate. Atra Ghataha Astiti Jnanam na Jayate. Tasmad Hetoho Anupalabdhehe. Is it clear? So, Pruthagnanana Vistupiya Anyadarasyam. Certain words, these are
व्याकरणे अनुपलब्धिः कुत्र उपयुज्यते?
What happens is Patanjali under, I think it is Triyam only. Can you see Lingam? Sarupanam Ekasesha Ekavibhakto Sotram is there. There is the discussion about Lingam. Lingam generally Laukika Nirvachanam is there. Stana Keshavati Nari Lomashu Purusha Smurtaha. Dayorapya Bhave Napasaka, something like that. But there Patanjali says Tasman Vayakarani Shikyam Laukikam Lingam Asthatam Sarvatha Kashana Swakurdantaha Astheyaha Koso. I think in this context only this Anupalabdhi comes. So then they say this is actually useful, otherwise also I shall explain. So then what is Lingam according to Vayakarana? Then what Patanjali did, he borrowed from Sankhya Darshanam. Shabdasparsha, Ropa, Rasa, Gandha, these gunas are there now. Gunanam vruddhi hrasau. यदि गुणानां वृद्धिः अस्ति तर्हि पुंलिङ्गम्, यदि ह्रासः अस्ति तर्हि स्त्रीलिङ्गम्। उभयोरपि समानत्वे वृद्धिह्रासयोः समानत्वे नपुंसकलिङ्गम्। This is what you come across in the commentaries. सामान्येन पुंसकं, सामान्येन पुंसकं. This is the meaning. Samanya means what is samanya? Samanasya bhava. What is samana? Both vruddhi and hrasa. Vruddhi and hrasa of shabdasparshi ropa rasagandha gunanam. Gunanam vruddhi opposite hrasaha. Isn't it? Tasman. So there Patanjali goes on, you chip one tree and look into that. Huh? Can you see the lingam, pumlingam of vraksha? Something like that. So there actually, although it is there, it is not seen. Satopi anupalabdhihi. Asatopi, there is a lot of discussion. But here in this case, what is lingam? Lingite jnayate aneneti lingam. Ligatau. Lingam chinnam. Chinnam lakshana. Lingam chinnam lakshana jalakshanam namarkosha. Isn't it? So here what happens, lingam is anupalabdhi. What Panini says, Panini, although he gives linga prakaranam, although he provides linga prakaranam, it is just for as a diksuchi. It may be like that. He starts with Gaya Jabantaha, Gayanta, Ajanta, Avanta Shabdas will be in Pumlinga, something like that. But Sambandham is there, Gayanta. Sambandha is there. Sambandham Napunsakalinga also. Sambandham Avrittishyamahe usage in Mahabhashya only. And that means it is only Sujana Praya.
Shesham Pumvat.
No, Shesham Pumvat is also there.
Dikshit Siddhanta Kaumudyam.
In outside, people they say Manas Tadvato Shesham Pumvat. Jnanam Jnane Jnanani. Again the same. Okay? Shasham, in Pumlinga, whatever you say, Raga and Rama, like that. So, how is your studies? Panastadvata, Shasham Pumbato. That is it. But here what happens? Lingam Asishyam Lokashayatva Lingasya. What is the Niyama? Lingam Asishyam. Linga is not to be ruled, not to be prescribed. Lingam asishyam, not to be prescribed by loka shriyatva lingasya. In loka prayoga, shishtraloka prayoga, whatever you come across a linga for a shabda, you take it for granted. Then whom to approach? Namalinganushāsanam. So there are koshas, 110 koshas, 10 or 12 are available. So that is why it is called Namalinganushāsanam. Done by our Amarsimha, so our Kosha. So there, all the lingas of different shabdas, 7 types are there. All the 3 lingas, tataha tati tatam, something like that. Only 2 lingas, either 2 permutations and combinations. For single linga, only. Okay, like that. 7 kinds of linga anushāsanam will be there. So, it is not the job of Panini to prescribe lingam. So here lingam is not seen. Then how to identify? Okay, you said that gunanam vruddhi pumlingam, gunanam hrasaha strilingam, ubhayorati samanatve samanya napunsakalingam. And also Patanjali clearly says in Mahabhashyam, when you do not know the lingam, use napunsakalingam, katiputraha. So if lingam ajnane lingasya ajnane napunsakalingam prayokthavyam is the niyama. Is it clear? So, but no, kaschana sakrutantaha astheyaha. Sakrutantaha means vayakaranam. Krutantau yama siddhantau amarkoshaha. Krutanta means yama or siddhanta. So kashchana swasiddhantah astheyah ashrayaniyah. What is that means? This gunanam vriddhi hrasa. But who will do this? Who knows whether there is vriddhi or hrasa? That means it is not possible for ordinary people like us, but possible only for those who have got yoga protection. So we have to depend upon the usage or koshas. Is it clear? About linga, you can write an essay actually. So anupalabdhi, that is not available due to 6 reasons that are enumerated in Sankhya Darshanam, are taken by Vyakarnas also. That does not fall under Anumana Pramanam. If you take Mimamsa, Vyakaranam or Vedanta, etc. But Nayayikas, no. That's why they hold their very important thing is only Anumana. Because Pratyaksha there is what is there to argue or discuss after Anumana. So any other Pramana you bring, they throw it under Anupalabdhi. Isn't it? So Anupalabdhehe, that is. So Prathakvinananabhistriya Anyatarasyam is Anyatarasyam. I told you, Dhatuna Manekarthatvam, Upasargana Manekarthatvam, Nipatanancha Anekarthatvam. Okay, here Evi Yoge Prathako Vina Nana with 3. Yoge Tritiya Syat. Yoga means Sambandhe Prayoge Ityartha. Sambandhe Panchami Ditiye Cha. Chat Tritiya. Okay, that means Tritiya, Panchami, Ditiya, all the 3 vibhaktis will come if there is yoga of a Prathak Vina Nana. Anyatarasyangrahanam Samuchayartham. Okay, so here the Shabdaratna, a commentary of Nagesha, actually in the name of Nagesha's guru, Nagesha only authored this Shabdaratna on Prabhupada. People say it is very difficult. See, Kashtam Shastram, to whom is it Kashtam? Huh? To whom is it Kashtam? Shastre Vadabhayam, Kule Chuti Bhayam, Vitte Drupaladbhayam. Sarvam Vastu Bhayanvitam Bhuvinram Vairagyameva Bhayam. Bhartrahari. So, what happens is, Kashtam Shastram, Kasya Kashtam iti pruchhamaha. To whom is it Kashtam? Who did not work hard, who did not study, who is not a Nishnata, who doesn't have kaushal. For him, Shastram may be Kashtam, not for everybody. So, Viveka Chudamani Shankaracharya says, Shastram Yakshana Kaushalam, all these Bhuktaye, Natumuktaye, they are only for earning to account your livelihood rather than moksha. Some people have got very good expertise, dexterity in commenting on Shastras. But maximum people will go only generally 1+1, maximum 2 Shastras, Nyaya Vedanta, etc. Many people do not touch all the Shastras. That is problem. On the other hand, those who study Vedas do not go for Shastras. And vice versa. Those who study Shastras do not touch Veda. If at all they learn Veda, they will learn for Devatarchana. Purusha Soktam, Shri Soktam, Rudram, Rudradhyaya, Namaka Chamaka. Yes, that will be okay. But not other chapters of Veda. Any Veda. That is what is happening in the world nowadays and hereafter. Very, very difficult even to find a person who studied completely a single Shastram also. A part of that will do Panchasandhi or some Shabdadhikara or Samasa. He will teach. If he asks questions in Tadhita or Pradanta or somewhere, Sanadjanta, they say, no, I have to check. So we cannot stop it. Difficult. So here he says, there in Shabdaratna, Nagesha says, Vyakyanaditi. Because Anyatarasyam, it is Samuchayartham, we are saying. What does it mean? Who said this? Vyakyanat. So Vyakyanato Vishesha Pratipattihi Nahi Sandehat Alakshanam. That paribhasha, first paribhasha will come here and says, since the commentator says, it may be Bhashyakara, it may be other commentators. If they offer a logical what you call the interpretation, then we have to accept. So, in order to cover more examples, such devices are followed. What are they? Earlier you have seen Vibhasha iti yoga vibhagaha. Panini is the least bothered about whether you are going to take up it as a single sutra or two sutras or whatever you want. He is the least bothered. No, he doesn't have time to discuss. It is not his job, simple. There are other people coming behind who are supposed to take up the task and explain and break their heads and pull their hair. What Panini meant. Because he went home. He is not there. So, but what is the nima? Kumar Bhatta says, Sutreshveva hi tatsarvam yadvrittau yachyavartike sotran yoniriharthanam sarvam sutre pratishtitam. Once Panini gives a sotram, whatever is said in Vartikas, Vritti, Anuvritti, this, that, all that, total thing is there in that sotram. Sarvam sutre pratishtitam. Why pratishtitam? What is the significance of pratishtha? Brahmapucham pratishtha. That is there in Anandamaya, Anandavalli, Vedanta, Babaji. You like Vedanta. So, this pratishtha is a shabda that is used in very strong sense in Upanishads. Isn't it? So, Dve Pratisthite Vidya, in all these things in Ramayana also, you get that version, Shloka Shlokatma Agataha, there also. Okay. So, Anyatarasya Angranam Samuchayartham Panchami Dvitiye cha Anuvartete Prathak Ramena Ramat Ramamba. Ramena Ramat Ramam Vena. Ramena Ramat Ramam Nana. Nana is separation. Vena means without. The same thing became Vena. Karane cha stokalpa krishra katipayasya asatva vachanasya. Karane cha stokalpa krishra katipayasya asatva vachanasya. That is the padachena, isn't it? And now, येभ्यः अद्रव्यवचनेभ्यः करणे तृतीया पंचम्यौ स्तः. Karne, what is this? Kartrukarnayos tritiya. Karne tritiya has to come, isn't it? That is Utsarga Shastra, Samanya Shastra. It is already gone. But here what he says, Ebhyaha Adravyavajanebhyaha Sattvam. Sattvam means Sedanti Jati Guna Kriyaha Asmin iti Sattvam Dravyam Uchyate. Sadeha Aunadikaha Tvaprachayaha. Sattvam. Chadayo Sattve Panini Sutram. Like that, Sattva is very much used in Vyakaranam. So, Asattva Vachanasya Uchyate Aneneti Vachanam. Okay, Karnaya Yutprachayaha. So, Asattva Vachanasya, Arthat Adravya Vachanasya, Staka means less. Alpa, Kurchra, Katipaya. If these shabdas are there, then Tritiya will be there and also Panchami. Stokena Stokadva Muktaha. Stokena Stokadva Muktaha. Okay. And he has to pay back that loan. And they said, okay, we will reduce it. Let us arrive at this thing. Okay. Then Stokena Stokadva Muktaha. Dravyetu Stokena Vishena Hataha. By very much less Visham. The reference is for? The reference is to Sai Krishna. What is the reference? By very, very small amount of Visham he is killed. That means either sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide. So, 6 or 7 people died to simply taste, to know the taste. Everybody has written yes, but it is not known whether it is sweet or sour. By the time the next letter is to be written, this hemoglobin is gone. So stokena vishena hataha, killed by less and less. This less is what is less? Jamshedhanand, what is less? Lesha. In Sanskritam, lesha is there, no? Lesha means less only. What is there? If you study Sanskritam, you can teach other languages in a better way. Am I right, Babaji?
Yes, that's true. You can give Vyutpatti of English Shabdas also.
Also, political is a nice Masa. There more are there anywhere. Huh? So, Mlechi Bhashas are nothing. Pani wants only for Daiva Bhasha. He means only Daiva Bhasha. But Krishinam Rajyanam Vacham Artham Dhavati. Those may be applicable to other Mlechi Bhashas, but Pani doesn't look back. He is the least bothered about because you won't get moksha through those bhashas. But although, you see, if you are a scholar in Sanskritam, people say he is a Panditaha, Mahan Panditaha. Although you can speak fluently in English and you have authored a number of books in English, also for other languages, then you may not be called he is a great scholar, because even in LKG or UKG, small kids speak more fluently than an English professor. Why Sai Krishna? Vaksanam is very strong in their horoscope. Vaksanam is second house from Lagna. Isn't it? Veda is Pashyanti Pandita. If you are a Pandita, you look through the window of Vedas and Shastras, Darshana. Actually, what does it mean? How he is like that? Others cannot say. They do not even think in on these lines. Am I right? Therefore, Dravyetu Stokena Vishena, that means by potassium cyanide, Hataha, killed. You start teaching Parni like this. People will think Parni is the connection. There is a connection established. Staka means very small amount. Dorantikatebhyo dvitiyacha. Tripatam sotram. Ebhyaha Dwararthebhyaha antikaर्थेभ्यः ebhyaha द्वितीया स्यात् चात् पंचमी तृतीये च. So three, द्वितीया, tritiya, panchami, all the three vibhaktis will be there if any shabda which means either dora or antika. Antika means samipa, close. Okay. Pratipadikaarthamatre vidhirayam. This is near Pratipadikaarthamatre. What the first sutra is there, no? Pratipadikaartha Lingavatra Prathama. There this sutra is. So in that sense only, this is a vidhi. That means Prathama vibhaktim badhitva atra Dvitiya, Panchami, Tritiya cha bhavati. Isn't it? Gramasya dorat durena va. You can say Gramasya dorat doram durena. In any one of these things you can use it. Antikam, example. Antikat antikena va asatvavachanasya ityanurtehe neha doraf pantha asatvavachanasya. Since pantha is a dravyavachaka, doraha visheshanam is also a dravyavachaka. Since there is samanadhikaryam, doraf pantha. So prathama only will come, but not. That's why pratipadikathe. Is it clear? Doraf pantha. Iti panchami vibhakti asa shashti vibhakti. This is quite long. And also many examples will be covered under the shashti. You are asking some how shashti. Here there is shashti. Okay.
अत्र दूरम् अन्तिकम् इत्यादि गुणवचनं खलु?
No. Actually, it is gunavachanam. What happens is, when this gunavachana becomes a visheshana to something else, that means it is not on its own, not standalone. It is not standalone. Then what happens? Visheshanatvat dravyasya visheshanam, isn't it?
तदा तदपि द्रव्यवाची भवति.
द्रव्यवाची भवति इति.
किन्तु ततः पूर्वं यदस्ति तत्र तु गुणः खलु सः.
गुणः दोरार्थकेभ्यः तत्र गुणः एव.
ग्रामस्य दूरम् इत्यत्र गुणः सः।
गुणः किल द्वरान्तिकार्थेभ्यः यस् देयर इट इज असत्ववचन नान द्रव्यम द्रव्य भिन्नम मीन्स इट कैन बी जाति गुण और क्रिया बट हियर यू हैव टेकन इट गुण isn't it that you have taken
my doubt is Mahoday atra dura is how is it guna means we say soft
विशेष्य विशेषण भाव is there पन्थः is विशेष्यम पन्थः is द्रव्यम तस्य विशेषणं दोरः इति शब्दोपि द्रव्यवाची एव भवति द्रव्यवाचकः एव भवति विशेषण विशेष्य भावः
my doubt is not there ग्रामस्य दूरं दूरात् दूरेण वा इति अस्ति खलु तत्रापि अयं गुणः खलु अयं दूरशब्दः गुणवाची
गुण एव अद्रव्य असत्ववाची अद्रव्यवाची एव
सः गुणः इत्युक्ते यथा द्रव्ये गुणः समवायसम्बन्धेन तिष्ठति तथा अत्र कः गुणः भवति अयं
दूरशब्दः वर्तते किल दूरे वर्तते दूरशब्दः किं वक्ति गुणवचनं वक्ति गुणवचनत्वं निर्णीतं नागेशेन जातिवाचकत्वं वा क्रियावाचकत्वं वा द्रव्यवाचकत्वं वा येषां नास्ति ते गुणवचनानि एवं निर्णयः एवं स्वीकरोतु नो चेत् तत्र सिद्धान्ते वक्तुं कष्टतरं भवति शास्त्रीयः निर्णयः अयं न केनापि इच्छ्यते कृदन्तेपि समासेष्वपि प्रशंसावचन गुणवचनैश्च गुणवचन भाण्य प्रयुज्यते गुणवचनं गुणवचनमिति तत्र नागेशेन उच्यते इतरैरपि उच्यते किमिति ये शब्दाः न जातिशब्दाः न क्रियाशब्दाः न संज्ञाशब्दाः ते सर्वेपि गुणशब्दाः एवं स्वीकरोतु
पुनः एकः संशयः विभाषा गुणे अस्त्रियाम् इति सूत्रे गुणे किम् इति उक्त्वा धनेन कुलम् इति उक्तं
तत्र गुणे धनं द्रव्यं किल
आम्
धनं द्रव्यं किल न गुणः
आम् तत्र तृतीया केन भवति कस्मिन्
हेतौ इति अनुवृत्तं उक्तं किल सूत्रे प्रथमतः हेतौ इति सूत्रस्य अनुवृत्तिः अत्र वर्तते
आम्
यदि भवता अष्टाध्यायी सूत्रक्रमः स्वीक्रियते दृश्यते तर्हि हेतौ इति सूत्रानन्तरमेव एतानि सूत्राणि वर्तन्ते अतएव हेतौ इति वृत्तौ विद्यते तत्र पश्यतु विभाषा गुणे गुणे हेतौ स्त्रीलिङ्गे पंचमी तस्मात् सामान्यतः हेतौ इति सूत्रेण गुणो वा भवतु द्रव्यं वा भवतु जातिर्वा भवतु संज्ञा वा भवतु हेतौ इति सूत्रेण किं प्राप्यते तृतीया प्राप्यते अत्र तु यदि गुणवाचकत्वं तर्हि पंचमी स्यात् इति सूत्रं विभाषा गुणे स्त्रियां स्पष्टं वा
आम् तत्र अर्थः कः भवति महोदय धनेन कुलम् इत्यस्य कः
धनेन कुलं निर्मीयते वा धनेन कुलं प्रधानं भवति वा कुलं वर्तते प्रधानं वा अप्रधानं वा कथं निर्णीयते धनवान् चेत् शूद्रोऽपि महान् भवति प्रकरणं सन्दर्भानुसारं व्याख्यायताम्
धन्यवादः
सर्वे गुणाः काञ्चनमाश्रयन्ति एव धनवान् सर्वज्ञः
यस्यास्ति वित्तं स
नरः कुलीनः स एव पंडितः who is pandita that person what did he study he has got money he has got wealth that means don't question about this thing so whatever he says see in outside when you go Mahatma Gandhi's birthday everybody should follow in the footsteps of Mahatma Gandhi okay this person is there now from Bengal who is he Bharatiya Sena that person is
Subhash Chandra Bose
his birthday everybody should follow in the footsteps of Subhash Chandra Bose the same person says this the same person same politician is saying like this ahimsa Mahatma Gandhi Bose himsa Now, let us ask him, in whose footsteps are you following? Is it Gandhi or Bose? Is there an answer? Patanjali, under Bhave, Tasyapacham, and some sutras, he says, Tadveshiti Bhavan Tatkari cha. You talk about it, against it, but you follow the same. What is this? So people will be there in the world. In Telugu, there is some movie Premanagar, also in Hindi. There he says, Eduti Manishiki Cheppetanduka Neetulu Unnai. Neetis, morals are there simply to preach to others. In bracket, not to follow. So, generally, that's why in our Shastras, what is said? Who is an Acharya? Sayam Acharate. First, you have to follow those niyamas, then only you are qualified to teach others. If you do not follow, who would listen to you? That does not mean that everybody, every smoker should tell people, you go on smoking like that. You should say, do not smoke. I am already suffering something like that. Nevertheless, generally, Anushtata, if he is an Anushtata, then he has got the right to preach. Upadesha. So, now it is over. Everything is clear. Shashti Vibhakti. So, Shashti Sheshe, just a slight discussion. Panini says, Shashti Sheshe. What is Shesha? Uktadanyaha Shesha. The Nirvachanam is Uktat Anyaha Shesha. Whatever is said, the one other than whatever is already said is called Shesha. What is said till now by Panini? Panini said Pratipadikatha and Kartru Karma Karana Sampradana Apadana Adhikarna. Adhikarna is going to say. The problem is that here everything is upside down. Actually, this has to come at the end. But somehow Dikshita said, don't talk, don't question. I will put it here. Next, the Saptami will come. So here, how to say? Sheshe. One Panini had taken up the analysis of Vakyam. Vakyam means Jagao Ekavachanam. Vakyani Ityatra. Okay? Among the syntax, some Westerners, what they said, Panini is actually, he takes care of morphology. Morpheme is a word borrowed from life sciences because they don't have, otherwise they have to say wordology. They did not like. So they borrowed from life sciences, morpheme, and then said morphology. Morpheme means the minimum linguistic unit with meaning but cannot be used. Phoneme is the linguistic unit without meaning. Okay, so morpheme means prakriti or pratyaya. So actually, Panini was dealing with Varna, Pada, Vakya, Mahavakya. Many great scholars also do not touch this aspect of Mahavakya, but in third Adhyaya itself, when there are two sentences connected with each other, Panini said, Vibhasha Sakangshe Nayadi. Two or three sutras he has given. Okay, so that is Mahavakya. Come back. Any doubt?
महोदय पाणिनि कुत्र उक्तवान् पाणिनिना कुत्र उक्तमस्ति
तृतीयाध्याये विभाषा साकांक्षे
अत्र एवमेवं तेन महावाक्यं तेन सूचितम्
अवश्यं तेन संस्कृतं संस्कारः कृतः महावाक्यस्यापि
एवम् एवमेवं
स्मरसि कृष्ण यत् कश्मीरेषु वत्स्यामः तत्र सत्त्वं पास्यामः स्मरसि कृष्ण यत् कश्मीरेषु अवसामः तत्र सत्त्वं अपिबामः. So lung or lit, both either you can use. Nayadi, but nobody, not even in the commentary, nowhere nobody says this is an example of Mahavakya. There Patanjali says Mahavashyam, asti asmin akanksha iti sakanksam. This vakyam has got an akanksha of another vakyam. What Panini means? There you can use either lut or lung. Huh? Okay, anyway, you check into that. I have discussed this in my Mahavakya Vichara thesis. In Vyakaranam clearly. That means in Vyakaranam, when you take up Vidhivakyam and go on adding Samjna, Paribhasha, Adhikara, other sutras, then you will have a complete Mahavakyam. Mahavakyameva Lakshya Samskarakam Bhavati. This is clearly stated in Bahushu Bhavachanam, Kartarikrutu, Neranav, etc. by Kayata and others. But not clearly stated in any commentaries. Since most of these people do not touch Mahavashyam, much less the commentaries thereupon, they do not say anything. So slowly, in the tradition, it has gone to back burner. Is it clear? So, Shashti Sheshe. Sheshe, I did not touch while analyzing the sentence. I have touched Pratipadika and other Karakas, but did not touch one thing. In Pratipadika and other Karakas, what did you touch? You touched Nama and Kriya, noun and verb, everywhere. So, Kriya, Janakatvam, Karakatvam you said, and in every case, you have given examples for noun and verb. But you did not touch one thing. Chaitrasya Bharya, Chaitrasya Graham. Here both are nouns. That is also a vakyam. You did not touch that. Yes, I did not touch that. Okay, go for Shashti. Got it? What Panini meant by Shashti Shesha? Babaji, is it clear? See, this sotram is slightly confusing. Shashti will come. There are two shabdas. Rajyaha Purushaha. The most common example. Raja is there. Purusha is there. Purusha expects something from Raja for the services rendered. Raja expects the Purusha, okay, to render some services for which he is going to pay. Is it clear? So now you got the sambandha established between Raja and Purusha. Now Panini says, Shashti, where to put Shashti? Is it after Purusha or is it after Rajan Shabda? Where to put? Raja Purushasya itiva, Rajyaha Purusha itiva. Panini does not say anything. Back to square one. Panini is the least bothered. So then there is a lot of discussion in the Mahavashyam and then Vakyapadiyam. Finally, the Siddhanta is that there are two. In Rajya Purusha, okay, there are two. What are they? What do you mean by two? Visheshyam, Visheshanam. Qualified, qualifier. What is Visheshyam? Purusha. What is Visheshanam? Rajyaha. How Rajyaha became Visheshanam? Raja Sambandhi Purusha. Rajya Purusha means Raja Sambandhi Purusha. Generally, we say Shashtidat Purusha. Otherwise, you may say, why not Vajjam Badlohi? But that is not the Vigraha. It is just explanation. Rajyaha means Raja Sambandhi Purusha. Here, Purusha is Visheshyam. Because, why is it Visheshyam? Because it does not undergo any change. Purusha is there. Whether he belongs to Raja, he belongs to Chakravarti, he belongs to some Shatru, someone, whatever it may be. So, Visheshyam may undergo change rather than Visheshyam. So, Visheshyam is standard as it is. Therefore, it should not get any change. Then, which one should get? The Visheshanam. So, you are going to add Shashti Vibhakti to Visheshanam only is the Siddhanta. Is it?
Acharya, one doubt. If I say Chaitrasya Lekhanam, Chaitrasya Pathanam, if I say that is Patanam and Lekhanam, is it not Kriya?
Let it be. So what?
I mean,
Visheshyam it can be. You have
Then
already given. Namate Akshata. Huh?
both the words should be nouns. You said that both the words should be nouns to get Shashti.
Chaitrasya is a noun. Lekhanam is also a noun. What is your doubt?
Lekhanam is a kriya.
Lekhanam, Lekhane, Lekhanani. Lekhanam is a kriya when kriya vachaka, not kriya. Likhati is kriya. Pathati is kriya. Pathanam, Lekhanam. Krudabhihitaha bhavaha dravyavat bhasate. This is Mahabhashyam. You may note down. Krudabhihitaha bhavaha dravyavat bhasate. I will give you the full discussion. What is bhava? Bhava eva hithatvartha ityavichinna agamaha. We have already seen. Bhava means here dhatvartha, the meaning of dhatu. What is the meaning of dhatu? Kriya. Kriya, how many forms has it got? Yavat siddham asiddham va sadhyatvena sadhyatvena abhidhiyate ashritakramaraopatvat sakriyetjabhidhiyate. This is Vakyapadiyam Kriya Samudesha Padakanda. It may be Siddham Asiddham Va. Akaha. Okay. It is or. It may be ready. Or Pachati, Pakshyati. It is sadhya. It is to be done, to be performed. Are you getting Sai Krishna? One thing is two kinds of words. One is Siddha, the other is Sadhya. Siddha is Subanta, Sadhya is Tinganta. Come back to the example you have given. What Panini says under Sarvadhatike Yak, that Sotram Panini says Krudabhihitaha, okay, Bhavaha Dravyavato Bhasate. What does it mean? What is the difference between Dravyam and Kriya? Dravyam will have connection with Vachana, Linga, Karaka. Linga Vachana Karaka Karakaihi Sambandhaha Bhavati Asya Siddhasya Dravyasya. Kriyayaha Punaha Linga Sankhyabhyam na yokshyate. It is not going to have any connection with the Lingam and Sankhya. Because we have already seen Eka Kriya. The Vachanam Sankhya is not that of Kriya, but that of Sadhana. Yesterday discussed. So now, Bhava Dhatvartha is there. You have taken up Pathanam or Lekhanam, whatever it is. It has got two forms. One is Krut Pratyayena Abhihitaha. Here, Lyut is the Krut Pratyayaha. Krityalito Bahalamiti Sutrena, Lyu Pratyayaha, Yuvoha Anakau, Yuvor Anakau, U is replaced by Ana. So, Pat Ana, Patana, Lik Ana, Lek happens. So, this is a Bhava that is denoted by a Krut Pratyaya. Dhatoho Kartari Krut. Dhatoho Vitaha, Tingbhennaha, Pratyayaha, Krut iti Abhidhiyate. Is it clear?
Yes.
Upon Dhatu, Dvaye Pratyayaha. One is Ting and Krit. Non-Ting Pratyaya on a Dhatu is called Krit. Here you have taken Lyut. You may also take Pakaha Ghai Pratyaya, Bhave. So, Krudabhihitaha Krit Pratyayena Abhihitaha Uktaha Bhavaha Dhatvarthaha Dravyavat Bhavati. Dravyavat Bhavati means Linga Sankhyaabhyam Tasya Sambandhaha Bhavati. Yadi Kriya Chet Kriyayaha Linga Sankhyaabhyam Is it clear? You have to keep on the tip of the tongue entire Mahabhashyam. Otherwise, you cannot answer. It is not so easy. Okay. Tasya bhavastvataro bhave bhave. There you said jati. In spot of that is a different issue. Isn't it? Yeah, Babaji, is it clear? Krudabhihitaha bhavaha dravyavat bhasate. Dravyavat means like a dravyam, means dravyam can have connection with linga sankhyavyam. A kriya cannot have connection with lingam and sankhya. In certain languages, सीता ने एक किताब खरीदी. In Hindi, there is linga for dhatu. In Sanskrit, no linga for dhatu. Okay. So now, where are we? So this is Rajya Purusha, which Shabda, Rajan is there, Purusha is there, some Sambandha. What is the Sambandha? Here, what is that? Sevya Sevaka. Sevya Sevaka Bhava Sambandha, Sevya Raja, Sevaka Purusha. Under this Sutram, Patanjali says, Ekashatam Shashthyarthaha Yavanto Va Mahabhashyam Ekashatam Shashthyarthaha. 101 Shashthyarthas are there. Yavanto Va, or maybe more. Patanjali says, Ekashatam Shashthyarthaha Yavanto Va. This is Mahabhashyam. Also note down under the same Sutra Mahabhashyam. Yadadhikyam Savakyarthaha. Yadadhikyam Savakyarthaha. Tadvakyartha actually is Vakyartha. Vakyartha Visheshanam, no? So Vakyartha. Yadadhikyam, what does it mean? There is Raja. There is Purusha. Isn't it? When you put both of them closely, nearby, because Mimamsa says, Vakyam is Samabhivyaharo Vakyam. Puramimamsa, in Prakarana Granthas, Samabhivyaharo Vakyam. Samabhivyaharaha means Samipyam. Nearby. Samabhivyaharo Vakyam is the general definition offered at the initial stages. We were giving Athaikatvad Ekam Vakyam, Mimamsa Sutram, that is a top level. Now, if you put two words nearby each other, then it is a Vakyam. That means you have to meet the three prerequisites, Akanksha, Yogyata, Asakti, that will be there. Here what happened? There is Raja, there is Purusha. There is Rajan Shabda, there is Purusha Shabda. Because it is a Shastra, Shabda Shastra. You put both of them nearby. Why did you put? Because Raja wants Purusha and vice versa. Purusha wants Raja. Oh. What is the condition? A condition is Purusha expects the Raja to pay something for rendering some service, and Raja expects the Purusha to render some service for which he is going to pay. Oh, that means Sevya Sevaka Bhava. So that is the relation. Then you will get Shashti. So then they are separate, Raja and Purusha, no problem, nothing is there. But when you said Ratyaf Purusha, there is something other than the Padartha, and whatever Adhikyam extra you are getting, that is only called Vakyartha. Raja Sambandhi Purusha. Is it clear? Hey, Murali Mohanji, are you following? There is clarity?
Yes, sir. Polite.
Yes. Clarity should not be sacrificed.
Okay.
So, this is what is meant by Panini. Yada Adhikyam, when you put both the words in proximity closely, then something extra is there. Adhikyam. This same is called Vakyartha, nothing else. Earlier it was Padartha only. Raja means Raja. Purusha means Purusha. But when you say Rajya Purusha, there is something extra, more. What is the more? Rajasambandhi Purushaha. That means you are bringing in Sevya Sevaka Bhava, and so that both of them, the Raja and Purusha, are now bounded by Sevya Sevaka Bhava. That is called Vakya. This Shastram is different. Nyaya Vaisheshika Mimamsa. But you should have Mahabhashyam.
Can we say that the yad adikyam savakyartah, this adikyam is denoted by Vyanjana vritti?
That one. That means you are still going deep and deep. What happens is, for Vaiyakaras, there is no Lakshana vritti.
Oh.
She, Abhidha vritti itself, like an issue, goes on cutting into, where is the reference? Ramayana. A single arrow is going through many. Similarly, whatever meaning Vachyartha, Lakshyartha, Vyangyartha, later on you are saying this thing, no? All those things are from Vachyartha, only their extension of Vachyartha. So there may be some dhvani, but later on people started saying, because under Punyogadakhayam, I might have given you. Patanjali gives Chaturbhihi Prakaraihi Atasmin Saha iti bhavati. Taschat Tadhamyat Tatsamipyat Tatsahachiryat. So, for example, this is nothing but Lakshana only. But Patanjali did not use the word Lakshana. So, generally outside people say, no, Lakshana is not accepted by Vaiyakaranas. But wherever you see in Kayyata, Nagesha, etc. commentaries, they use the word Lakshana. Why? This is the case. Take Nyaya Darshanam. In Nyaya Darshanam, second adhyaya, Akshapada offers a sotram where the same things are there. Same examples. Gangayang Ghoshaha, Manchah Kroshanti, etc. All the same examples in the sotram. Both are put in one place in Manjusha by Nagesha Bhatta. So Lakshana is to be accepted. Jaghanya vritti, it is also called Jaghanya vritti. Whatever it is. Okay. From there, you will get Vyangyartha. We have already discussed it. Gangayang Ghoshaha, Shaityam, Pavanatvam, or the Vyangyartha. That is itself is called Dhvani. Some people call it Tatparyarthopike Shuchitu. That is Mamatacharya's Kavya Prakasha.
Oh, Vaiyakarana say this is Lakshana vritti is Jaghanya vritti? Not
Vaiyakarana. And they once what happens, once it became just polluted with all these things.
Oh,
the terminology that is being used in other Shastras, especially the dominating Alankara Shastra, because Alankara Shastra is built upon three Shastras: Vyakarana, Nyaya, and Mimamsa. The origin, the base, Adhara of Alankara Shastra is there. Till 19th century, people were not accepting Alankara Shastra as a Shastra at all. Because in Dhvanyaloka, Kavya Prakasha, etc., if you see, Vidvansaha Vaiyakaranaha. Who are Vidvansaha? Who are scholars? Vaiyakaranaha. Vyakarana Moolatvat Sarva Vidyanam. Dhvanyaloka. Anandavardhana. Dhaninati Gabhirena. Yes, I know. Anandavardhanah Kasya Nasid Anandavardhanah. So, what happens is Alankara Shastra is not separately accepted as a Shastra because the origins are there in Parvakya Pramana Shastras only. They have taken all these things there and they improved it. So, you have gone to 501 Alankaras or 550, whatever it is. Upamaika Shairushi. Shairushi means actor. Actor goes on changing the costume and offers different forms. Similarly, Upamalankara only changes its and isn't it? So Appanya Dikshita says Upamayika Shelushi. Prapya Bhumi Rangasthalam, etc. Whatever it is.
Oh, in Chitra Mimamsa is
Chitra Mimamsa.
501 alankaras.
Not in Chitra Mimamsa, but later on, if you go down to come back, then there are 550 alankaras, Pratapadriya, etc. If you go, so many alankaras. They go on separating. Mukhan Chandra Eva, Mukhameva Chandraha, Mukhan Chandra Vatu, Yatha Mukham Tatha. They go on giving the different names and simply divide into them. But Alankara, Alankriyate, Aneneti Alankaraha, Ghai. Shabdartho, Tavatu, Kavya Shariram, then Kavya Syatma, Dhvanihi, Alankaraha, Gunaha, Prasannata, etc. Gunas are also. All these things, that is a separate Shastra. Is it clear? So, Adhikyam Svakyarthaha, Patanjali says, whatever extra meaning you are getting, after putting two words or more together, that is called Vakyartha. So, don't get confused. That's what he said. Now, Karaka Pratipadhikartha Vyatiriktaha, there are Karakas, there is Pratipadhikartha, Vyatiriktaha, Swaswami Bhavadi Sambandha. Okay, Swam Purushaha, Swami Raja, Swaswami Bhavaha, Sambandha. Sambandha is a phenomenon that requires minimum two things or people, but other than both the things. That is a phenomenon. And as you know, the Sambandha will be there. This is Vyasajivritti. What is it called? Vyasajivritti. Because Kavyatvam is there, it is Vyasajivritti of Shabda and Artha. Dampachyam is there. Dampachyam is a dharma that is Vyasajivritti spreading across Bharya and Bharta simultaneously. So a dharma which spreads across two things or persons simultaneously is called Vyasajivritti. This is a very best word. Very good word. Term. In other languages, you don't have such kind of terminology. Vyasajivritti means Dayorabi Samakale Abhivyapya Tishtati. The dharma that spreads across both the things or two people or two things simultaneously, not at different times. And Babaji, so tomorrow when you give lectures on Advaita, etc., then interpretation becomes easier and it is convincing, isn't it? Okay, so Swaswami Bhavadi Sambandha Sheshaha Tatra Shashti Syat. So that's why people say Shesha means Sambandha. How did they get the meaning? From Shashti Sheshe, from this Sutram only. Tatra Shashti Syat Rajya Purushaha. Okay. Karmadinamavi Sambandha Matra Vivakshayam Shashtyeva. In the beginning we were saying Vivaksha Bhedyat, this is Kartrutvena, Karnatvena, Karmatvena, etc. Vivakshataha Karakani Bhavanti. That is the guideline on the top. How Karakas? It depends upon the speaker. If the speaker thinks Sthali, the vessel, as an Adhikaranam, then Sthalyam Pachati, Saptami, Adhikarane. If in order to express the facility of easy cooking, then the Vakta may treat Sthali as a Karta, Kartri. Then he says Sthali Pachati. Are you getting? So, the polish, he polished with this polish, their Karanam. The polish polishes well. Their polish became Karta. So, in other languages also, you may apply Vivakshataha karakani bhavanti. Karakam will take place depending upon the vivaksha vaktumichha of the vakta, speaker. So, karmadinamapi, even when you take gramam gacchite, something like that, there you may say there is some sambandha between them. In that case, if you have the vivaksha of karma, karana, sampradana, padana, etc., as sambandha, instead of that karakam, you want to use athato brahma jignasa, athato dharma jignasa, dharmasya jignasa, dharmam jnatam icchati. So, there is karmani shashti, isn't it? So, karmadinam api sambandhamatra vivakshayam shashtyeva. That means shashti is on the top. These karakas, any karaka, if you take sambandha vivaksha, then shashti will replace satangatam, isn't it? This is gatam is bhavektaha, napumsake bhavektaha, Pani Sutram is there. So gatam is bhavektaha, satam satsambandhi gamanam. So what happens is here sadbhihi gatam is the general usage, karanam. Sadbhihi satpurushaihi gatam, isn't it? Then he wanted to say here Karnakarakam is considered as sambandha. Then satam gatam. Okay. Sarpisho janite. Sarpisha janite. Through sarpihi, sarpis is there. That is one kind of ghee. They do not use the word ghee. What they say? Saturated, not saturated. They say
butter.
Clarified butter.
Clarified
butter. Karma. The word is very difficult to clarified butter. See, you can't help it. This karma is there, no? That's why everybody accepts karma even today. He is sitting in the house. He is not touching anybody. Nobody is coming. Still he got. He cannot smell. He cannot taste. Why? Nasib. So everything happens according to. No, people will easily understand without teaching what karma is, isn't it? Where across the globe, not here or there. And now we use it to say, don't touch everybody, do not touch anything. If you touch, wash your hands, and take. After returning, wash your feet. In Telugu, Andhra area, what happens is they put one pot of water and with a small mug, metal, this thing, chambu they call, okay? And they have to wash their feet and then only enter the house. But nowadays, people are entering with shoes. What is wrong? There is problem. What happens is, there are cold countries. Because the nervous system here is contracted due to too much of cold. And they cannot use these fingers just like us, because this is a tropical country. So they want to eat with chimcha, spoons. So these people also simply aping. You know, ape. Sai Krishna, what is ape?
Ape, monkey.
A monkey. Whatever monkey does, these people are also behaving like just monkeys. So they are sitting on the table and just what happens? This part from the stomach and the chest part, there is no movement. In the office, you are sitting in a chair. Night, you are sleeping on a cot. During daytime, have to have food. Then also you are using a table, dining table. Anyway, Western commodes have come. So when are you using these knees and waist and above back? So you are having pain in those places. Even at 70 is not an age. According to Ayurveda, 70 is not an age. Don't trust anybody. Trust me. Because I did not say that. There is another problem. People may not trust you. You means me. So, therefore, The body, this part is not moving. There is no movement. There should be movement. So why are you imitating people living in cold countries while you are in a tropical country? Isn't it? So similarly, why we have Satpihi, this clarified butter. Satpihi, Ghrutam, different names are there. I have given the names to what is Satpihi, what is. Oh, I will send that less. Okay? Different names are there for different kinds of these things. Ghee. Ghritena Vardhate Buddhi. When that girl could not answer my question in class, I said, are you not consuming Ghritam? She said, no. I will get what? Cholesterol, Godari. God, Godavari, I call Godari. You say carelessly. You say Godari. Sarcastic. So, actually, one should use good amount of oil and ghee to see that the bones, etc., are very strong. These people go on replacing knees, replacing heart, replacing head. Everything is being replaced. Why? What are you enjoying? Anything else? What is not replaced? Even liver is replaced. Huh? So, what is the job they are doing? Sitting and thinking about replacing some part of the body. Oh. For karma. So, what people think? Dukkha bhava is sukham they think. Dukkha bhava is not sukham. That is sukha bhasa, like rasa bhasa. So, sukham is different. These people will never come to know, especially in this time of pandemic or whatever you call it. Isn't it? So, already body has got so many poisons, vishas, that will resist any kind of this thing. You need not go with covering the mouth, covering head, covering legs, covering everything, toe to head. What is this? PPE, Godari, Ganga, being some names and see, to vidhi vashat prapte na santushyatam. You do vidhi, whatever you got. Okay, so here he says Sarpishaha, Sarpisha, actually it is there through Sarpihi, through that he is knowing the device, that upaya. What is the upaya? This some context it is given. Sarpishaha Shashti. Matu smarati, mataram smarati. So karma karakam. But it is matu smarati. Yedho dakasyopa kurute, yedho dakasya edhaha or edhas, both are there, Pumlinga, Navasalinga. Udaka is there, Daka is also there for Udakam. So both these words can be taken either this or that. Okay, Edhodakam, Edhaha, Udakancha. Jatira Praninam, Ekatram. Samahara Napunsakam, Sanapunsakam. Okay, so Edhodakam is Upaskurute, Upaskara. Upaskara means some Parishkara. Actually, in Vaidya Shastram, what happens? If you boil the water with dry sticks of neem and some other trees, okay, they will get some sort of Aushadha Lakshana and good smell also, that water. So this example is taken from Vaidya Shastra. Nobody understands. Yedho takasya kurute upaskurute takasya shashti. Yedho dakam, isn't it? It should be Prajmadikatha. Yedhodakam or Ditiya. Yedhodakam upaskurute. Bhaje Shambhoscharnayoho tayoho. Shambhoscharnayoho bhaje. Shambhoho, it is actually charanam. Both the charanas you are going to imagine. But Ditiya karakam Shambhoscharnayoho tayoho. It is Saptami. So Adhikarana karakam became Shashti. It is Shashti. So Bhaje Shambho Charanav, it is should be Karma Karakam, but here Charanayoho Shashti has come. Shashti has come because of Vivaksha. Kartradi Karakasya Sheshatva Vivakshayam Shashti Bhavati. By that you got it. Is it okay? Halanam Triptaha. Halanam Vishaye. Actually here Halanam Triptaha. Phalaihi triptaha, isn't it? He is satisfied with fruits. So Karnakarakam. But here, Sheshatva Vakshayam Karnakarakasya Shashti Agachati Phalana Tripta. Shashti Hetu Prayoge. This is very important. Hetu Prayoge. Generally, when you are using Hetu, what will become? Hetu Tritiya. Hetu iti sutrena Tritiya will come. Isn't it? But here what he says, Hetu Prayoge, Hetu Shabda Prayoge, okay, Shashti will come, but not Tritiya. Hetu Shabda Prayoge, Hetau Dyotye, Hetu Shabda Prayoge va, Hetau Dyotye va, Shashti Syat, Annasya Hetor Vasati. Okay, Kasya Hetoho, Kasmad Hetoho, we are going to have that in the next sutram. Kasya Hetoho Vasati, Annasya Hetor Vasati. He is living for the cause of rice. Is it okay? So Annasya Shashti, because Hetu Shabda Prayoga is there. Sarvanamna Tritiya cha. This is the immediately next sutram. Sarvanamnaha, when you use Sarvanam Shabda, Tritiya cha. That means Tritiya will come, Shashti also will come. Any question?
Mahodaya, the Dyotye ityasya udaharanam kim?
It is coming. It will come. Dyotya, because Karana, Nimitta, etc. also you are using. Or sometimes Hetu is not clearly stated, but for that he is living. Then also see this next to this. Sarvanamnastiyaja Sarvanamnaha Hetu Shabdasya Prayoge Hetau Dyotye Tritiya Syat Shashti cha. Both will come. What is the example? Kena Hetuna Vasati Kasya Hetoho Kim Shabdaha Sarvanam. So Hetu Shabda is Prayoga used. Kasya Hetoho Nimitta Paryaya Prayoge Sarvasam Praya Darshanam. So whether it is a Karanam or Nimitta or Hetu Paryaya Shabdas, when you are using them, Sarvasam Vibhaktinam Praya Darshanam. Okay, so Kim Karanam? Kena Karanena Kasmat Karanat Kasya Hetoho Kasmin Hetau, like that all the Vibhaktis will come Prayena. Where when you are using Hetu, Karana, Nimitta, these shabdas. Also Dyotya, we will give example. Nimitta Paryaya Prayoge, Nimitta Shabdasya Paryayo Hetu Shabdaha Karanam iti Shabdasya. So Nimitta Hetu Karana Etesham Shabdanam Prayoge Sarvasam Vibhaktinam Prayadarishanam. Generally they are seen in the usages. Kim Nimittam Vasati. Okay. Kena Nimittena Kasmai Nimittaya Ityadi. Evam Kim Karanam Ko Hetuhu Kim Prayojanam. Prayojanam is also a Paryaya of Hetu. Isn't it? Kim Prayojanam Ityadi. Prayagrahanatu Asarvanamnaha Prathama Dvitiye Nastaha. Prayagrahana Prayana. Prayana means in most of the cases. So sometimes Asarvanamnaha Prathama Dvitiye Nastaha. When it is not a Sarvanama, then you will not get a Prathama and Dvitiya. But other vibhaktis will be there. How? Jnanena Nimittena Harihi Sevyaha. Here Karnam. Karne Tritiya. Here Jnanena Nimittena or Jnanena Harihi Sevyaha if you take. If it is Jnanena, there Dyotya Hetu. Hetu is Dyotya. If the Shabda is not used, then Jnanena Harihi Sevyaha. Jnanena means Hetu Bhutena Jnanena. Jnanena Karanena. Jnanena Nimittena. So Hetu, if it is Dyotya, then also you will get it. If there is Prayoga of that Shabda, Hetu, Nimitta, Karana, then also you will get Tritiya and other vibhaktis. Jnanena Nimittena Harihi Sevyaha. Jnanaya Nimittaya Ityadi. Jnanat Nimittat. Jnanaya Nimittaya. Jnane Nimitte Harihi Sevyaha. Isn't it? That is the षष्ठी atasartha pratyayena, slightly different kind of this thing. We have to go to tadhitas and take up these astati, atas, tas, as, ahi, ach, ahi. These pratyayas we are going to take them up in pragiviya prakaranam is there. Pragivat kaha one sotram is there. Before that sotram maryada tena vina. These pratyas will go. This is called pragiviya prakaranam. Before that prakaranam. There Panini, Dik, Desha and Kala gives some pratyayas. Astati, etc. I am going to give you the sutras and pratyayas. Don't worry. Okay. Then, in what sense? He doesn't say. Note down. Anirdishtarthaha pratyayah swarthe bhavanti. Anirdishtarthaha pratyayah. That is the paribhasha. Anirdishtarthaha pratyayah. When the meaning is not clearly stated, not stated at all by Panini, then they are to be taken in swartha. Swa means prakriti, artha, prakrityartha only. That means these pratyayas do not have any meaning whatsoever. Ave kaha is there. Avihi means pakshi. Avikaha, same meaning. Like that. So anirdishtarthaha pratyayaha swarthe bhavanti. Paribhasha. So Panini says since tadhitaha bahuvachanam anukta tadhitaha api santi. Its meaning is there are certain tadhitas which are not covered, which are not mentioned or stated in my tadhita prakarana. That is what is meant by Panini. I might have given you that version. Which version? Hanuman Natakam. That verse is Nyakaro yayame vame yadarayah. Did I give you?
Acharya, I remember you giving from Hanuman Natakam, but I don't remember.
तदेव तद्दत्तमस्ति महोदय.
दत्तमस्ति किल. There सर्गग्रामटिका विलुण्ठन वृथो चोमैः किमेभिर्भुजैः. Sargagrammatika. Tikan is not given by Panini, not listed by Panini. Nevertheless, usage is there. So, how to answer that question? Then the samadhanam is Tadhitaha. Panini says, elsewhere he says Krit, Kartari Krit. But here he says Tadhitaha Bahuvachanam, not Ekavachanam. That means Anukta Tadhitaha api santi. Ye atra maya अस्मिन् तद्धित प्रकरणे अनुक्ताः ते अपि स्वीकर्तव्याः. Clear? So swarthe kaha. Sometimes you come across swarthe kaha. That means although it is not clearly stated anywhere, swarthe kapratyaya. Because kan is said. Sanjnayam, hasve, alpe. Kan pratyaya is there. But he balakaha, prakshakaha. Alpe, small tree is called Vrukshakaha. Hitopadesha says, Udara Charitanantu Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. Ka means Alpe, small family. That you have to explain. Taking that is the pratyaya. Otherwise, people generally go on, Kudumbakam means a family, Vasudha means entire universe, like that they say. But actual meaning is, it is not a family, it is a small family. Why? It is not said Kutumbam, it is said Kudumbakam. You have to explain Kapratyaya.
Why it is said that small family, why not a big family? In the sloka, not about this.
You can think about it. Udara Charitanant. People have got Audaryam. You know Audaryam? So, donating things, giving things. They don't want any particular group of people or caste people or religious, etc., etc. The entire world, universe is seen by them as a small family. So, they may help people in Saudi Arabia, they may help people in Japan, maybe in Russia, anywhere, doesn't matter. What they want, they have this phenomenon of Audarium. So for them, they do not differentiate between this group, that group, etc. Got it? Any doubts?
महोदय अत्र ज्ञानेन निमित्तेन हरिः सेव्यः अत्र तृतीयापि भवितुमर्हति अन्यापि विभक्तिः भवितुमर्हति इति उक्तं निमित्तादि अर्थेषु तथा कश्चन श्लोकः तत्र कस्मिन् अर्थे विभक्तिः इति मम प्रश्नः यथा पृष्ठेन
भक्ति ज्ञानाय कल्पते
न पृष्ठेन अर्कं सेवेत जठरेण हुताशनम् आचार्यं सर्वतो भावेन परलोकममायया इति.
Then what happens is, you said the Jyotya, no example for Jyotya, no? Chaitana.
पृष्ठेन अर्कं सेवेत. पृष्ठेन तृतीया कस्मिन् अर्थे?
पृष्ठेन.
पृष्ठेन. From the back you have to take the sun rays.
कर्णे तृतीया.
कर्णे वा?
कर्णं किला.
जठरेण.
It is being used as a sadhanam.
Oh, karane, हाँ, साधन.
Karna means sadhanam. This is in
परलोकम अमायया इत्यत्र.
Paralokam?
अमायया.
No, without maya.
That sadhanam न भवति खलु.
Sadhanam bhavate. Amayaya. Amayaya is indirectly sadhanam only. Maya, amaya. Amayaya. Without maya, you will get paralokam.
But abhava, can that be a sadhana? Mayayaha abhava khalu amaya iti.
Amaya. With maya, can one go to paraloka?
Na, but abhava padarthaha katam sadhanam bhavitum arhati.
Abhava padartha is tasya. There is actually recently one girl submitted a thesis on abhava in all shastras. So actually, bhavasya, bhava is there first. Nayayikas say there are pragabhava, pradhamsa bhava, achanta bhava, anyonya bhava, chaturvidha bhava. Bhartruhari in Sambandhasa Viddesha Padakanda Vakipadiya says that is wrong. Because first you have to have the thing, bhava. Then only you will have its absence. Avidyamanaha bhavaha bhavaha, isn't it? Accept it? So if ghata is not there, then you can say aghataha, bhutale ghata bhavaha, you can say. The problem is that in 9th adhyaya of Vaisheshika Darshanam, earlier Kanada Maharshi said the 6 Dravyaguna Karma Samanya Vishesha, 6 only he said. But in 9th adhyaya he took up abhava because that is not a thing. But Udayanacharya and some other acharya, they started taking abhava also as one of them. Sapta padartha. Abhava is not a padartha. So actually, abhava, okay, presupposes bhava. If there is something does exist somewhere, isn't it? If something is there, then only you can say absence of that thing. But Nayayikas, what they say? Pragabhavaha. What do you mean by Pragabhavaha? Pradhamsa bhava may be there for a ghata, etc. Anyonya bhava may be there. Ghate patatvan nasti, pate ghatatvan nasti. Ghataha na pataha, pato na ghataha. Achinta bhava, their meaning is different. Gagana kusum, etc. is achinta bhava. But what is this Pragabhava? Not having that at all. In fact, in Mahabhashyam also, Rakshohagamalaghva sandeha prayojanam. What is the purpose of Vyakaranam there? Asandehartham Vyakaranam adhyayam. There Kayyata says, here Pragabhava eva nadi pradhamsa bhava. A person will not have a doubt at all. But not a Vyakarana will get a doubt and then pradhamsa will be there. No, that is not. So, amayaya, by the absence of maya, that means you should be above maya. Everybody is under the influence of maya only. If you are above Maya, except Shiva, Devatas, Vishnu, Brahma, etc., above Maya. We are within Maya.
Within Maya.
The Vishnu Maya, they say. Vishnu also has got Maya.
Yeah.
This Maya can also mean with sincerity. Maya means kapat.
In general, Lokaka meaning, Maya means Mayavi, you say. Maya means cheating.
So then it is not an abhava.
Then you need not go for that kind of problem. This is also another answer. Maya, without cheating anybody, having good qualities, dharma, you will go to Paraloka. That kind of reason. Actually, Amaya, this meaning which is given by Babaji may be more appropriate because Amaya, above Maya, you will get moksha, not Paraloka.
Oh.
Isn't it? Mayant Prakritam Vidyat, Mayanant Maheshwaram.
Maheshwaram.
Mandakapanishad, etc.
Shvetashvatar.
Shvetashva. Okay?
धन्यवादः.
Oh, no, Pananivachayanam Shibda Vidya Sampradaya Tubbhyom Jivya Paramajivyo Abhyo Vidya